Hi guys, very quick video update. The US military will hold mass evacuation drills during the North Korea war games. So this is in association with the Foal, Eagle and the Key Resolve exercises due to take place from April the 1st. That will start the Foal Eagle exercise, and then 2 weeks into that, so around April the 14th, we'll start the Key Resolve exercise. The US military has scheduled a mass evacuation drill coinciding with next month's annual joint war games on the Korean Peninsula, where the exercises are expected to raise tensions at a time of rare calm between the region's longtime rivals. As part of a maneuver to practice evacuating more than 200,000 US citizens and other civilians in South Korea in the event of a war breaking out with nuclear-armed North Korea, the US was set to transport 100 volunteers all the way back home, a first for the yearly training, according to Stars and Stripes. The so-called Focus Passage drill will take place between April the 16th and April the 20th. That kind of jumps out to me because obviously I've got April the 18th as one of my watch days, so it's directly between the 16th and the 20th. After the US and South Korea launched the Foal Eagle and Key Resolve combat exercises on the 1st of April, April Fool's Day, Easter Sunday, the day after March 31st, Passover, which is also one of the watch days that I'm looking at. So with that going on, we know that North Korea have said that these drills are seen as a provocation and they will retaliate in whatever way they deem necessary. So it's important to pay attention to things like Trump ousting his national security advisor for the second time. So the first one was Mike Flynn, and now we've got HR McMaster who's out. This is only concerning because Rex Tillerson just recently left and he was fired as Secretary of State. Now both Rex Tillerson, who's Secretary of State, and HR McMaster, who's the National Security Advisor, were pushing diplomacy with North Korea and Iran. Those two have been replaced with Mike Pompeo for Rex Tillerson and John Bolton for HR McMaster, which are both seen as hawkish on Iran and North Korea, meaning that the risk of war or preventive strike from America is increased because of these two. Now there's a third person left, and he is Jim Mattis, the Secretary of Defense. He is also someone who is pushing diplomacy, or has pushed diplomacy, with North Korea and Iran. The rumors are that he is due to be replaced as well. My point on this is to keep an eye on Jim Mattis. If he is replaced with someone else who is equally as hawkish on North Korea and Iran as Mike Pompeo and John Bolton, then we've got a trio or a trifecta of people who would support Donald Trump in the event that he decided to launch a preemptive strike on North Korea, for example, or would be involved in a preemptive strike on Iran in Syria, for another example. So those points are kind of important, and the reason why the shake-up, as they call it, reference to shake-up, earthquake, whatever, is important to keep your eyes on. Now, today I mentioned about the UN's World Water Day in a video that I posted a few days back. Watching a Many Fish video, he pointed out that they are going to be, or have done, some sort of ritualistic practice where they've kind of displayed imagery of a flooded kind of New York, flooded Manhattan kind of scenario, which only screams out to us because it's one of the events that we've been watching for in terms of a mega tsunami, giant earthquakes, all these kind of things, you know, apocalyptic type of events, things that some people may not believe will happen, but others are clearly awake to, you know, what's going on and what we're being shown in the world today. So this is the imagery. I didn't manage to catch the imagery that they displayed at the UN Plaza today at dusk, but this is the imagery on their website. These people are called Studio Rosengrad, and this project is something called Water Light, and basically it's a bunch of lights that are displayed along the building, and I'm guessing, you know, some sort of kind of smoke imagery or holographic projection is beamed along a lateral surface which is above the heads of all these people so they can get the experience or feeling of what it would be like to be inside a massive flood or tsunami. So there's a video and I'm going to play it for you.
Best wel spooky. Spacey. Ja.
Wat ik het gevoel dat ik erbij krijg is een beetje onderwaters. Dat je onder een laag zit.
Ja, best wel mooi, vind ik.
With the waves above us. And it's magnificent.
Ik weet natuurlijk dat we beneden zeeniveau zitten, maar ja, zoals je het zegt, zou dat niet zo fijn zijn als ik dit opeens over me heen ga voelen, nee.
So there you have it. One thing that stood out to me is what the old guy said, it would not feel comfortable to be flooded by this all of a sudden. And I think that's the general gist of the program, is to get people to understand what it would be like to be underwater. But at the same time, all those people, you know, taking pictures and saying it's pretty are not grasping the reality of such a display, which is why we make these videos, to enlighten and to try and point out that these aren't just pretty lights. This is a occult and subliminal message that they're putting out there, because they're ready to enact their final stages to bring about their one world order, their one world government, their one world religion, the mark of the beast, the chip system, the Antichrist, all of it, to flip the world upside down and remake it how they want it, basically. I think it's pretty clear to see what their plans are when we point out all these little subliminal messages that they've got out there. Yesterday I pointed out on the Google Doodle, when you flip it upside down, how it resembles an underground nuclear explosion, being the initial explosion creating this circular dome-like structure within the earth and then pushing upwards with the mushroom head type of expansion, and then you've got the waves all around it kind of going crazy, suggesting some sort of underground explosion resulting in a tsunami, possibly, or, you know, creating an earthquake, which then creates a tsunami, a chain effect kind of thing. I went back to January the 1st, so New Year, to find out what Google Doodle they had up at that time, and it was this image, quite simple, quite plain, but when you flip it upside down, if you imagine all this sandy kind of color as earth, or, you know, if it's easier for you, kind of like a beach material, a sand basically, and then you've got this kind of light structure, which I'm taking as a nuclear explosion. The other way around, it looks like a sunset, you know, going down into a dip between the hills, but when flipped upside down, it becomes a bump extending up out of the earth, and above it here, where you'd think this could be sky, when it's upside down, when it's the right way around, it looks like ocean, but when you flip it upside down, it looks like sky, but even then it's not actually sky, it's clearly a wave that kind of goes off the charts here. So this explosion pushes the earth up, and above the earth the sea is pushed up, and then you get this kind of rolling wave, which is symbolic of a tsunami. And that's the image that they displayed on January the 1st. Throughout other images they've displayed similar things, and we get to, you know, March the 21st, and they're displaying, you know, that particular image there. And then you get to March the 22nd, UN Water Day, and they're displaying floods, you know, with this projection holographic type equipment. So, you know, it's clear what they want to do. When they want to do it is up for debate. Subjection is subjective, based on interpretation from the materials that we have available to us. So that's pretty much what I wanted to bring to you. The watch days for me remain the same. 22nd is still, well, it's over for me now. It's currently 1:45 in the morning on the 23rd. So there's still obviously a couple of hours left for the 22nd to pass around the globe. I'll still be paying attention. 23rd has some indications for me, not enough to make a video, but just enough for me to keep my mind aware of it. So today as well. And then 31st Passover midnight, so that includes April Fool's Day and Easter Sunday, and then April the 18th, and that'll be the last day in my watch list. So you guys, time is running short, time is running out. We don't have much of it left, if any at all, so use it wisely. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and God bless.